How's it going, YouTube? Let's finish my coffee and we'll have a look at this charge cooler a bit more, shall we? Right, for any of you guys that follows my Instagram, you'll notice over the weekend I changed the injectors. The reason for that, I had a few issues with idling. I had a high idle and I traced it back to vacuum leak. I didn't actually video any of that, I didn't get time, to be honest. I took out the Astra VXR injectors because one of those had a vacuum leak on it, and whilst they was out I thought I've got an opportunity to stick in the monkey wrench racing ones. So now it's got the MWR 630 injectors in. I had to do a little bit of setting up on the mapping. I've got a bit of a lumpy idle, but that's because of the piggyback ECU. Does a good job at scaling the injectors, but it's a little bit much for it on idle, so at some point I do need to go standalone ECU, which we will do when I'm not so poor. On the last video we did some tests on the charge coolers. It wasn't particularly a real life test, it was a comparison because everything was constant. The only change in the test were the charge coolers, so it was a comparison between two heat exchangers. But in a real world it's not a real world test. So what I did was the eBay one, I've put it on the car. What we'll do is I've got to put some fuel in this car. We'll go for a run out. I've set up the GoPro. We'll have a look at the temperatures, shall we, while we're boosting. Right, here we are, the eBay one all in. It looks a bit crammed in there, but to be honest, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clock this turbo, so this pipe's coming out the bottom, and I'm going to redo all the piping and make it all nice. And I'm going to change this blue piping for black piping. And I'm going to repaint all this, and I'm going to put a different colour theme on this. I want it like a black and a gold sort of colour theme. But there's the eBay one crammed in. I had to change all the piping along the back for 3-inch piping. This is 3-inch down. One thing that is missing is the blow-off valve that goes in here. I've just left that out for now. There you are, guys, we've got a bit of a setup. Down there, if you can see it, Wi-Fi OBD2 adapter. Right, on the dash I've got set up my phone with the Talk Pro app. I've put 2 gauges on it, one for intake temperature, one for revs, so you guys should be able to see that. Here we've got boost, there we've got oil temperature, there we've got oil pressure, which those two are irrelevant for now. And there we have the GoPro that's watching it all, so I can film that, you guys can see what's happening. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. I've wired up the fan controller. That is the temperature of the return water from the charge cooler. I'll show you in the back actually where I've fitted the probe. There you have it, that's the pipe coming out of the charge cooler into the header tank, and then it goes from the header tank back down to the radiator. There's the probe. I've fitted it and poked it right in so it's right down at the bottom. So that is reading the return water temperature. Right guys, so there we have it, all set up. Let's go for a drive and see what happens, shall we? Right guys, so there we have it. Judge for yourself on the results, see what you think. I think it performed quite well actually. It's 19, 20 degrees ambient today. It's actually quite warm for England, surprisingly. It was managing about 25-ish during normal cruising, and we was hitting mid-30s during boost most of the time. I think once it went into the early 40s. Just for a comparison, the barrel type charge cooler, that was cruising at about 35 degrees. Once I'd hit about 5,000 revs, it jumped straight up to nearly 70 degrees. But I'm not saying it's a bad charge cooler. What I'm saying is I think I've taken it past its capacity. Well guys, comment below what you think. Make up your own mind. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.